Hello, we are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So, is everything okay in Pound Town? Unfortunately, an old post made by Sexírëd of her shading Nicki Minaj has been circulating. I think I've seen this before too. On Facebook, unfortunately, Sexírëd tweeted in 2019, or she reposted this, okay? She didn't necessarily write it, but she reposted. Nicki is an opportunist. She only using Meg because Meg hot right now. Yikes, okay? Now, it looks like Sexírëd has switched her tune since then. You know, people are allowed to change their opinion of an artist or person because, you know, she backed Bigfoot. She was champion Bigfoot when that came out. And she has not worked with Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, I'm hearing Megan don't really mess with Sexírëd like that. But, you know, in 2019, it looks like she might have been Team Megan, but she's no longer Team Megan, maybe because of the Tory situation. Okay, she might be siding with Tory. But a lot of fans are calling Sexírëd fake for this old Facebook post. Okay, let me know if you feel like Sexírëd is being fake. Or do you think she's allowed to change her opinion on Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion? Okay? Here's my thing. I think it's a little bit of both. I think she probably changed her opinion because 2019, that was a little bit before the Megan and Tory situation and before people started looking at Megan sideways. But I also feel like Sexírëd is always going to be out for herself. She's never going to fully take sides with anybody. It seems like to me Sexírëd is okay with getting along with all the female rappers, but you clearly see that she is strictly out for herself. She's not out for anybody else but herself, especially when it comes to her career. Now, fans are calling out Nicki Minaj for shading Doechii on Stationhead, and how, you know, basically Carti B moves better than Nicki Minaj in the industry. That's what fans are saying on social media. A fan said, this lady has never wanted there to be another successful female rapper. That was evident when she went years without platforming female rappers unless they were old heads who had no comeback and to spite Kim. It wasn't until Carti showed up that other female rappers got a chance and started making noise. She loved it when it was just her until she realized down the line she needed them. She attached herself to Meg, attached herself to Ice. She fell out with both of them, beefed with Carti, beefed with Lotto. Now her and her fans are targeting Doechii. At what point does she realize it's always her and those bastard fans? Yikes, that was crazy. But see, this goes back to what I said last time, that there is a narrative that is pushed inside the industry, and now it's made its way to social media, that Nicki Minaj always has an issue with a female rapper. That's the narrative that they're going to continue to push, that Nicki Minaj is bitter. But I don't agree with the fact that Nicki Minaj never gave a female rapper a platform. Before the 2016, 2017 hate train and the whole Remy Ma situation, Nicki Minaj brung out, I think it was Dej Loaf, for her Pink Print tour. Okay? Didn't she do that? I could have sworn she brung out Dej Loaf. And Dej Loaf is flopping now. Okay? But she helps Dej Loaf's career. Didn't she do a song with Young M.A.? So some of these narratives are not accurate, okay? I think some people may not have been paying attention, but I've always been a fan of Nicki Minaj, and I know for a fact that she has shown love to rappers, whether they were hot or not. Even Remy Ma, before Remy Ma came home from prison and decided to shade Nicki Minaj, she was saying free Remy and how she hoped to do a record with her. So I don't really understand that narrative that Nicki Minaj never platformed or shout out female rappers unless they were old and washed. That narrative is not true. And people need to stop spreading that. And then this dummy said that Nicki Minaj attached herself to Megan and Ice Spice. Cardi B did the same thing. Cardi B attached herself to Megan after Nicki Minaj and did WAP. Are we dumb? Are we slow? Do we not remember that? Okay. Cardi B attached herself to Ice Spice and put out that Munch remix that was completely trash.
You met me, I never met you. Drink my bath water, I'm special. If you tell somebody we fuck, but I ain't nothing, nigga, you capping. Niggas a munch, get it for breakfast. Bitches scums, bitches desperate. Bitch me dirty, go get tested, way too easy, don't wanna catch it. He telling all of his niggas I said we could chill. Like what? He wants to see what it is, like a gender reveal. Like pissing on bitches is really a skill. Like what? Bitches dead to me, damn, they dead to me still.
Now, moving on from that, Queen B and Nicki Minaj and SZA all make history. They have the highest week sales for Black women on Payola Board 200 chart this decade. Cowboy Carter coming in number one, selling 400,000. Oh, wow. Cowboy Carter did 400,000? I thought it did 3. Wow. Okay. Renaissance did 332,000. SOS did 318. Pink Friday 2 did 228,000. The SOS album by SZA did 180,000 for week 2. And then SOS did 178,000 for week 107. So congratulations to these queens. The queen of R&B, which is Queen B. And then SZA is the princess and Nicki Minaj is still the queen of rap. Now, moving on from that, Rihanna was spotted at her Fenty event looking rather bigger, stomach-wise, letting the people know that she is, in fact, pregnant. I feel like this low-key was confirmation. No wonder she been wearing them big-ass jackets. Congratulations to Rihanna, knocked up again, no ring. But she don't need a ring because she a billionaire. But, how many children you gonna have with ASAP the colorist and you ain't gonna get no ring, okay? You can just get a really nice prenup. Now, with that being said, he can still collect child support when the relationship is done. No shade. I think a lot of people are saying she's protecting her assets. That's not how you protect it, because he can still collect child support and get joint custody when the relationship is over. And no shade, child support for 3 children when you're a billionaire gonna be a pretty penny. But congratulations to Queen Rihanna for allegedly, I feel like this has been confirmed, but allegedly being pregnant again. Now, moving on to Ice Spice, the colorist, it was revealed that she is spotted filming for Euphoria Season 3. Oh no, I do not think Ice Spice needs to be on no damn Euphoria. She cannot act. She couldn't even pretend to like Nicki for too long. It was already exposed during her second year of fame that she didn't really like Nicki and Nicki was jealous and bitter. I mean, she couldn't even keep up the act of being a Barb. How was she going to do on TV? They should have picked somebody out. Euphoria is for real actors. Euphoria, they won 2 Emmys. Let's be very clear. Zendaya won 2 Emmys for her role in Euphoria. This is not a circus. We can't just have anybody on the show. So this is very much giving Donkey of the Day. I would have preferred Jocelyn Hernandez being in Euphoria more than Ice Spice, because I think Maddie is a stripper in the next season, and Jocelyn Hernandez used to be a stripper. Okay, so did Cardi B. So I just feel like Ice Spice, she's not going to do a great job. I can already see her weak acting skills on TV, just like her weak bars in music. I mean, come on now. Stop it. Okay? She must have sucked somebody off to get this role. No shade. Ain't no way she should be on Euphoria. Donkey of the Day for this. Now, moving on to Gaga. Unfortunately, Gaga is getting dragged by her clip-ins because her latest album, Mayhem, only did 219 first week. Pink Friday 2 did 228,000 first week. Fans are gagging at the fact that Nicki Minaj outsold a pop star as big as Gaga. Now, many people are wondering why this happened. Well, she's been replaced. You know, that tea is on Patreon. Fortunately, she has been replaced, and I just don't think the monsters are as big as the Barbs. The Barbs are a whole big fan base all around the world. The monsters don't really exist like they used to. They used to be, taking over, especially on social media, but they don't have the same steam. And then also, I feel like Gaga, she got to evolve musically, okay? The songs that she got on her album, they don't really show growth, okay? A lot of people were saying that about Nicki Minaj, but it's evident with Gaga, okay? I think she should stick to acting. But, this ain't been her only flop. Disease flop. That single Disease was trash. Then the Joker flopped. So Gaga has been flopping basically all year. Okay? But maybe she can get a Queen Bee collaboration. She was teasing a Queen Bee collaboration. I think Queen Bee could save Gaga's career. I think if she do a Queen Bee collaboration and put out a deluxe, she could do at least another 100,000 first week. If she put out a deluxe with a Queen Bee collaboration, that's what she should have done. She should have gotten Sabrina Carpenter or Queen Bee to be on her album. She would have sold more. Okay, you got to think smarter and not work harder. Okay, Queen Bee probably would have given her the collaboration. If she'll work with Purdue Chicken, she'll work with Gaga. Come on now. Now, moving on from that, allegedly, Normani is pregnant. Okay, everybody getting pregnant now. But as we know, she just recently got engaged to her football player fiance, and now allegedly she's having a baby. Okay, and she's been dressing different. She's been wearing baggier clothes or big t-shirts, big dress shirts, okay? Even when they put their engagement video out, she wore this big ass dress shirt. So it could be that she is hiding her pregnancy, just like Rihanna has done and Kylie have done. So let me know how y'all feel about it. I think it would be great for Normani to have a child. She might as well, because she don't have a career. I mean, she might as well become a wag and a mom. I think that probably will be very lucrative for Normani. She can do like a YouTube channel and showcase, her family moments on YouTube, even though Normani is roughly very private, though. But I'm just saying, I think that would be very lucrative for Normani. She probably can make a lot of money on YouTube vlogging. I can see her making a coin. So let me know how y'all feel about it. I don't really think Normani's going to be putting out any new music. I know she teased new music, but we already know that Normani a lot of times lies. Okay, no shade, but congratulations on her pregnancy too. Now, Kung Fu Kenny come to the front of the congregation. Whackademics revealed that he heard a Champagne Thickums and Playboi Carti song that sampled Luther Vandross, and was originally supposed to be for all the dogs, but was given to Carti for I Am Music, but then was blocked by Kung Fu Kenny, who was the executive producer of the album. And as we know, Kung Fu Kenny and SZA sampled Luther for their number one hit single, Luther, which is gearing up to be number one for another week. So a lot of fans are accusing Kung Fu Kenny of copying Champagne Thickums and taking his sample idea, okay? Because he was going to sample Luther for Something for All the Dogs, but unfortunately, the song never came out. Now, here's my thing. I think that this is a blessing in disguise, especially for Kung Fu Kenny and SZA. Playboi Carti definitely should not be sampling no Luther. he would have sounded completely terrible on the record. Sampling an R&B icon like Luther would make sense for a SZA and Kung Fu Kenny because SZA is an R&B artist. Champagne Thickums and Playboi Bottom Bussy Carti are not. And Playboi Bottom Bussy would have ruined the record. Now, if it was, Champagne Thickums and SZA, the record probably would have, had the same success as Kung Fu Kenny and SZA. But the thing is, I feel like this was a blessing in disguise because Playboi Bottom Bussy would have ruined the sample. Let's be honest, he would have ruined it. I think his album is kind of mid. The only thing saving his album, in my opinion, and there's really no shade, is the features. The Weeknd, Jhené Aiko, Kung Fu Kenny, Future. That's what's saving the album. If he had no features, he wouldn't be selling. Let's be very clear. Now, speaking of Playboi Bottom Bussy Carti, his album did 139 million streams on Paolify and then 86 million streams on Paolify for the second day. His streaming went down 38%, okay? Now, I personally think that people are going to obviously overhype the album, but a lot of people probably think that this album is mid. And I don't even understand why Kung Fu Kenny would want to executive produce a Playboi Bottom Bussy Carti album like that. He need to executive produce Frank Ocean's album, okay? Frank Ocean needs help, okay? No shade. Or a SZA album. That's who you should be working with. You need to help out the talented people. Playboi Bottom Bussy has no talent, okay? So if Kung Fu Kenny did executive produce, he deserves Donkey of the Day, in my opinion. And it's really no shade. Now, moving on to SZA. Is SZA taking Queen B's spot? So it looks like SOS by SZA is officially the longest running top 10 album by a black artist in Billboard 200 history, surpassing the Michael Jackson Thriller. Wow, wow, wow. And this is why I've always said that SOS was a classic. This album is probably going to go down in history as one of the best albums ever. So congratulations to SZA. And honestly, I'm not shocked. Okay? The SOS Deluxe, though, was low-key trash. So I think she needs to go back in the booth and make another type of album like SOS. The SOS Deluxe, I didn't really care for. Or she can do a joint collaboration with Kung Fu Kenny. I would like to see that, too. But anyway, I got some hot tea on Patreon. Link will be in the description. And have a great day.